Hello kiddos, this is Jojo the Monkey. Just want to show you guys this brilliant replay. It's of me beating the hell out of a guy. It's TVZ, and this guy goes all lings and infestors. And I just want to show you guys a strat to counter this. Because I found it very hard to beat. So this is the Zerg guy. This is me, Jojo the Monkey, Terran. You can see me, have fun, good luck, all that great stuff. I'm going to set up the, show you what's being built right now. So I have to say, I love people saying, Terran or OP, because I always find it funny. I think Terran is the hardest race to play. It's in between, we can never go too hard or too soft, and in my opinion, I think it's the hardest race. So we got Zerg, it's the typical build here. He's gonna try to go for a quick expand, which all Zerg do, because it's so easy to do. It really is. You'd suck, really. You wouldn't be pro, you wouldn't even be an amateur if you couldn't pull off a quick expand. Throwing down a quick hatch, there he goes, and, getting lings or a spine crawler, and you're set, which you cannot do with any other race. Protoss, you can go for the quick, maybe throw down a cannon, and then go for your expand, but at the same time, you can get hit by maybe a marauder push or some unit push. I'm more familiar with the Marauder push if it is TVP. Don't know what Zerg does to Protoss, maybe a Roach push. I think that's probably what they would go for if it was a very quick expense. You can see me scouting here, throwing my SCV around there. I see he's throwing down the pool. What I used to like to do is go for a bunker rush, but the thing is any good Zerg player, even any amateur Zerg player knows how to defend it. It's really simple. I've won games to where it all comes down to how many drones the Zerg player will pull off on the bunker rush. So I'll throw down my bunker rush, make maybe 2 barracks, and then send all my SCVs rallied to their natural. And I'll send maybe, a bunch of SCVs. And I've pulled it off at times. And I've only pulled it off because the Zerg player just didn't send enough drones. Didn't have an overlord to see my bunker placement. So you can see here, so he's already got his hatch. Going back to my view, I'm throwing down my factory, got 2 gas going here. Don't really need to worry about the APM. APM's really not that big of a deal, which a lot of people stress on. It all comes down to using the APN when you really need to. I think I pulled off a Banshee opening. I love pulling off Banshee openings on Zerg because, all Zerg players are just so greedy. They, let me get macro, let me get my natural up as quick as freaking possible, and you gotta exploit it. You really have to exploit it. A lot of people open up, with Reapers and, Reapers, I'm not gonna lie, it depends on the map. Reapers can be good, can be effective, I want to say. But in the end, it's like, it's not going to make the Zerg player do anything special. You throw up a sunken, you get some lings and it's done. But Banshees, they flip out. It's like, damn, I got to get a evolution chamber. I gotta get spore colonies, you know, so they flip out. They really do. So going back to Zerg, I mean, Zerg's already got 3 queens. It's just ridiculous. 4 queens. Is that 4? Yeah, 4 queens already. 4 queens, 2 hatch. I mean, he's already out macroed me. You can see the harvester count. He's got 31 to 25. And I'm sure all of you know, you've seen enough pro games, you know that Zerg is the macro king. You know, their units, of course, are not as strong as the, you know, Protoss and Terran unit by unit. But I mean, their macro is just sick, and I think it all comes down to being able to hold a macro, being able to defend your macro, and then counter with tech. And that's what this game is all about. That's the bottom line. Doesn't matter what race you are. And so I'm posting this just because I know a lot of people are having problems with mass ling and infestors. And this is the craziest game I can say I've played, to where the guy just goes ridiculous amount of infestors. I mean, I've played a game where I had a guy go infestors, lings, and brood lords in the end, and I gotta say I lost the game just because I didn't have a comeback for the brood lords. Didn't have a quick enough macro. But this game I think I played pretty well on my macro part. So I'm the Terran, of course. I'm just hammering him right now. You know, he doesn't know what to do. I'm just destroying his natural. He's gonna pull his lings back. Took out his spore colony. I mean, you really got to take advantage of the moments in this game, so I'm going for his queens now. You know, I have two banshees right now on the move. Take out 2 of his queens, and I'm going to take out this hatchery. And you really want to get ahead of Zerg as best you can, because Zerg will. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. You could be a bronze level and still OP on someone. So I take out his hatch, and we're going to see that right here. Which he can easily get a lair. Easily. Pop out mutas. Take out my banshee. You know, with queens. Just queens. Simply. Simply queens. But I take that out, and that's really good on my part. I have to say that. And so now the harvester count is at 32-36, which I'm up ahead by 4. So as a Zerg player, he's hurting right now. He really is. My minerals up by double. You know, so now he has got to come back somehow, and he's going to try to throw up a hatchery as soon as possible, of course. Which, if you go to my screen, I'm already throwing up. That's my 3rd. So I'm throwing up a 3rd, and I think this is a really good strat to do. I mean, you really against Zerg, and Protoss, and Terran, I mean, it all comes down, you know, everyone has their own strats. You got to be able to know when to set up your expands, know when to macro out. I had my 2nd up, and I knew that it was time to go for the 3rd. Because he was hurting. He's just getting on his 2nd. So, yeah. I'm going to click around in here. So, you know, got my 3rd going up here. 2nd is pretty good. I have some tanks, as you can see. Zoom in on there. Got a banshee just in case, setting up some bunkers. Got to have that static defense, of course. You know, and he's, of course, popping out lings. He's going to want, at this time, Zerg players are going to want to just macro up. I mean, with that pressure, they're going to want to macro up. So you can see him throwing down his 3rd as well. And at this point, it's all a game of tech. He's got 2 evolution chambers. He's got 4 gases on both. But I'm still up ahead on harvesters. So let's go back to his screen, see what he's doing here. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people. I've gone into the StarCraft forums and I've seen what people had to say about, what's the best strat for going against mass infestors. I mean, and I gotta say this: if this video ever gets out to anyone and reaches anyone by heart, I just hope you can see and understand the imbalance of infestors. It's just ridiculous. You have infestors that'll fungal growth, which will not only stop your units, so, making it impossible to micro, but it'll also prevent your siege tanks from sieging, okay? It'll do damage to bio and mech and armor. And then also you got infested terrans, which don't count as a unit, so they can just mass them up. And then also you got neural parasite. So you're gonna see the sickness of infestors, and this game alone should show it. I've gone against a bronze player and have lost, which I'm in a platinum, getting on diamond. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh well, blah blah blah, you should have gone ghost and yada yada yada. I've heard that, been there, done that, and it's just silly. It's just silly. I do not go bio against Zerg. It's just plain silly. I mean, these lings that you see here can in a second change to banelings, and then it's just done. It's over. And in this game, I gotta say, he didn't go as many banelings, but he could have. But still, I think I played the better part on the macro end. So you can see me here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, like four factories. I got my planetary up here. So I'm looking pretty good. 3 bases. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 factories. You want to make sure that also, if you do go Banshee Rush, you make sure you have a static defense. Make sure you get some tanks. So you can see him. He just found my 3rd. He's going to lose to that. Of course, planetary. I mean, call it OP, call it whatever you want to, but it's a freaking planetary fortress. That's what it does. So, yeah, but anyways, you want to make sure. I got a lot of SCVs on this base, which, that's how Terran kind of has to play against Zerg, because, at any given moment, Zerg can just pop out 100 mutas at any given time, just easily, from 1 hatchery, 2 hatchery, whereas Terran, you gotta have 4, 5, 6, structures to produce as many as you want. So all it takes is an overlord going by your base and saying, oh, wait a second, you have 7 factories. Huh. But when you fly over 2 or 3 hatcheries, you don't know what they can be. Okay, if you see a Roach Warren, you see a Baneling nest, you see a Muta, let's say you see it all. It still doesn't matter, what they could potentially have. So I've heard, people saying, oh yeah, Zerg is definitely, harder because it's Zerg playing to their opponent. But at the same time, I mean, really, just send a ling out, see what the person has, and just pop out whatever you want. And so at this point, I mean, I really strongly believe that Zerg is just ridiculously OP. So we're going back to him. So now you can see he's already got a ton of infestors. He's going to send some lings out. Don't know what he's about to do right now, but we're about to find out. Level 2 upgrade already. Level 2 too. Going back to me, I have 1-0, so could have probably had better upgrades. I'm not the best. I'm not gonna lie about that. Got a bunch of Helions, a bunch of tanks, a bunch of Thors, ready for whatever. So it's a really good combination. Like I said before, I mean, the way I win Zerg is really going mech, and I mean, it really comes down to those infestors, to where if you play against someone who's good or shitty, just go lings, banelings, infestors. It's really that simple. come back with corruptors or mutas if you need, depending on how the opponent army looks. Of course, you always want to have that up, and then brood lords to follow. You always want to, I mean, you always want to have tier 3 in the end, no matter the race. So, going back, nothing really going on right now. Both of us are macroing up. And I gotta say, I've noticed that, even though a lot of people have trouble with these mass lings and mass lings and infestors, you'll notice that you won't get harassed as much by mutas as a Terran player, zerg player. And so that's a good thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good thing, but at the same time, it's really easy to defend off mutas as a good player. I mean, whatever you have. I mean, be it Marines. Okay, so here goes our push. Here's the first push, and you're just gonna notice how ridiculously stupid this is. So the army's at 200. He's at 200. I'm at 195. So we're pretty much head to head. He's going to go in here and just stop everything. And I got to admit, I didn't get my siege up. And siege could have been a game changer. But just notice it. I mean, come on. Really? Really? All lings? Neuroparasite? Get out of here. Get out of here. Everything is done. I don't care what you have. I don't care if you have void rays, battle cruisers, freaking, Colossus, and what are those things called? Carriers. I really don't care. It's just over. It's done with just lings and a caster unit. I don't see that happening with zealots and high temps. I don't see that happening with marines and ghosts. You just can't do that. I mean, it'd be understandable if a High Templar can shit out, an infested Zergling or infested Hydra, and a Ghost can shit out an infested, Zealot. I mean, it would make more sense. But this caster, the infestors need to be nerfed. They have to be nerfed. And honestly, I don't post videos. I really don't. This is the only video I'm posting just because I'm fed up with the whole infesterling. It's really ridiculous. Too ridiculous. Look at this. So he's going to come in here. This is all him right now. Just took out my, took out one of my bases, which I had 4. You can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4. He took out my 5th. So going back right here, so you can see everything. It took out my 5th. Just massing up right now. It's ridiculous. Just massing up right now. It's kind of going a little slow. I think I have a program running. Okay, so you can see this battle. I mean, it's pointless. It's done. My units get taken over in a heartbeat. I'm down to 156. He's down to 150. I'm down to 109. I'm just complaining right here. Of course, I'm just like, wow, it's just crazy. Simply crazy. I can't think of any unit where I could just do the same. And this is really lagging up here. I'm going to pause this for just a quick second and see what is going on. Oh, that's why I have this freaking thing on. Okay, so that's going to be closed. Yeah, I want to close that because I'm not even using it. So, also close this because I'm not using pure block as well. And we're going to go back here and it should be a little bit smoother. Oh, an error occurred. That's lovely. Wow. Okay, don't mind that. We're gonna get back on and get back to the chase. Sorry about that. And I don't want to stop the replay because I think it will break in my video, and I don't want that to happen. So just bear with me. It'll take a second because I have a freaking ultra super fast computer, and I'm gonna skip through. Oh my god, that's right. You can't skip through, you gotta fast forward, so that's lovely. Yeah, so just skip through as fast as I can. Bear with me, I apologize.
Upgrade.
This is what it would look like times 8. And I gotta say, I'm really not that great at casting. I'm gonna admit that. You know, I'm not a caster. This whole game was to really basically show you how to beat a mass infestor ling baneling combination.
Additional supply depots required.
So I believe we're at the part. I think we had a second battle. I know that. So he's gonna wipe out my army in just literally a millisecond here. This is the first battle. Sorry about that. Watch this. This is gonna be funny. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Really? Oh, wow. No way. And, I mean, his APM was just freaking stupid. 400. Like, get out of here, dude. Get out of here. You know, wow. Okay, takes out that base. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're right here. Took out my second. Second battle. And I'm just like, wow. Because that's crazy. It's crazy to me. And I'm sure all Terran players are saying the same thing. Like, wow. It really is wow. You got mech. I mean, think if I had battle cruisers. What difference would that have been? He could have just thrown up infested Terran, throw up fungal growth, throw up neural parasite, all from one unit. Get out of here. Seriously, get out of here. And then it's just like, okay, what can you go then? Oh, you want me to drop? You want me to, come on. Look, I'm sure all Terrans can agree with me. They've done the drop, blue flame Halions. They've dropped Marines, and it's